Okay, so today I want to talk about debuggers and logging and why I believe logging is actually more important than debugging. Um, so usually the way people write code is that they make a system and it gets complicated and eventually it doesn't do what you expect it to do. And at that point in time, you go ahead and look through the code and start debugging and figuring out why it doesn't do what you want it to do. Usually that looks like adding a bunch of new print statements or using GDB to figure out where the backtrace is. But sometimes, if it's not even crashing, like it's like a non program ending issue, then GDB can't really help you with that. Well, it can, but you need to figure out where the problem is in the first place, and then you can look further. And so in my eyes, this is like the difference between waterfall and like agile. And I don't want to just throw around random terminology. Waterfall is when you're given like a specification or like something that needs to be done, and you go and do it, and you don't get feedback until the end, and then you show it to them, and then it's either like perfect or there's like so many things wrong with it. So, um, and there's that, and then agile is like instead you're talking to like the person who's going to be receiving this software like on a regular basis, showing them what it's currently like and getting feedback and like changing it. And that works a lot better usually, just because the person gets what they wanted at the end of it, because they're able to, because usually most people don't even know what they want. Like they want something and then you make it, and then actually they wanted something else. So being able to reiterate on stuff instead of committing fully to one thing can be useful. And that's kind of how I see large systems and like logging and debugging. If you don't log, then you're building up more and more logic that you will not remember how it works until one day that will all come together in you like having a point where it's like, I can't even do anything because this bug is so complicated and I don't know how anything works. So the counteract, the the thing that fixes this issue is logging, because what logging allows you to do is it allows you to continually be able to look at a program, and no matter like what stage you're at, you can turn on a log level and see like what's happening, right? So this is like when you do this, you start to understand like how your loop works, what's going on, and so you retain more context about how your program works, like while you're using it and while there's no issues with it. And so it allows you to like reason about why things would break before they actually break and stuff, which is way better. And yeah, like the biggest issue, like the only reason you are having a problem is because you simply don't know what your program does. Like there is never any other user issue or programmer issue. Like usually the program does what you told it to do, but it turns out what you told it to do is not what you wanted, right? And you just didn't know. um and it doesn't help that programs are usually, for example, the server in my game is just a black screen, right? And so it's not a graphical thing, and so you don't really know what's going on in there. It's working, like the game is running and people are playing, but like things are happening in there that you're not even aware of. Like you've kind of forgotten about how things work. So adding loggers is great. Adding loggers allow you to like retain in your head and like visually what's going on in your program. And the fact that like you can disable log levels, like using log levels well, is also important, because it allows you to say, okay, so here's a debug logger statement right on line 35 right in front of us, but it's like I can turn that off when I don't need to know all that about this subsystem. And also loggers are great because you can say you can see. How about I just run this really quick just so we can see something? we can see like what subsystem is doing what. So like I can see, okay, so the UI keeps adding like some stuff here, and so this is like the subsystem name, and this is like the log level, right? So when you have stuff like this, then it's way better than print statements, because when you have a print statement, it's like you don't even know where it came from in the code base. So it's just really not enough information. So I don't know. I'm just here to advocate for logging. It really helps me get stuff done and like not have these waterfall like moments where it's like I have to go figure out how everything works, and that's a big pain. Like I don't want to deal with that. I would rather just like incrementally know more and more about what my program is doing, and then like fix bugs way faster when they come up, or just like not have them come up. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say.